We cannot believe that it's already been 3 months since we've been married, and the Yelp reviews are in 5 stars, y'all. 5 stars. I'm so excited to continually get out with my husband, spend more time with him, and every day is a celebration. But this particular day, we decided to go to Morton's, have some good old oysters, some wine, some good food, some laughs, some memories, and we couldn't be happier or stronger.
What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Dr. Nina, and it's been a long time. I shouldn't have left you without a dope beat to step to, but I did. Why? Because boundaries, because rest. But we are back and we are in full effect, and I'm ready to share with you. I've been getting your questions and your emails where people have asked me, has anything changed since you got married? Do you feel any different? Did it change the relationship? Did it change anything? Now, we've been married for a short time, but we are settling in just fine. And even through our 3-year relationship total, I find that we have learned so much and have grown so much and continue to grow even more, because marriage does change things, especially when it's a good one. Now, I was blessed to learn a lot about marriage and growth through great friendships, my mentors, my therapists, as well as some of the healthy and unhealthy parts of relationships of my own. You know, I done kissed a few frogs, but we good now. We got the prince. We all don't have the luxury of figuring it out all on our own. And there's some things that I wish I knew before getting married or before even considering getting married. So make sure that you click like on this video and comment. I want to hear from you down below. Some of the things you're thinking about, some of the questions you have for me for future videos, all of that. And plus, I'm putting on a free Pick My Brain session this Sunday at the link down below. So go ahead and register. It starts at about 4 p.m. Central. I want to see you there. Go ahead and join the text community. It's going to keep you in the know as to when I go live or when I'm doing different things or sharing different things that can help enrich your life. Now let's get into this video. The first thing is that my marriage doesn't look or feel like anything I've seen before. You heard it right. I couldn't model it after anybody I knew. A lot of us make the mistake of trying to model our relationships off of people on social media, on TV, our mothers, our fathers, uncles, friends, and family. It don't work like that. You are a different person. You're at a different place in your life, spiritually, mentally, physically, emotionally, and even financially. You cannot depend on the input of others and their lifestyle and their life dreams and all of that based on what you will get. That equation will not be worked out until you start to meet people, see what works best for your life, also take evaluation of where you are. I had to really take some time. I got through some relationships that weren't the best for your girl, but what they taught me was what I was no longer going to go through. I put up boundaries. I learned how to set expectations that were realistic for my life, for me, and for where I was. And I've grown so much because of it. So all of that I did was not just to get married. See, that's the thing, okay? Some of these people out here teaching you to grow because you want to get married, okay? But you also want to be a better person. You also want to be better in your life. And a lot of times that attracts the right people to your space. So if you're doing what you need to do that's necessary, what you get in marriage is not going to look like anything anybody else has had. I like to tell people that I mentor those that I work with and treat. Relationships are 20% what we see, but they 80% what's really going on. So while you're trying to model something after somebody, 80% of that's really going on, you don't even know. The next thing is that a husband or a wife will not complete your life. Nobody can complete you. That's why you have to stay working on the things that you want to work on for yourself. Again, this goes back to the same thing I said before. You want to make sure that you're doing what's necessary for your life so that the right person is brought into your vicinity. You do not want to make all these changes just to catch a man, just to catch a woman, only to find yourself sad when you get with them because you haven't been authentic. You haven't been true to who you are. Keep that in mind. You are good enough. Now, maybe you need some fine tuning. Maybe you need to work on some things. You know what I said? I really have had to take a journey of health. For 16 years, I worked on myself. I lost over 100 pounds and have kept it off 16 years. That was a spiritual and physical journey. Not only that, I had to work on my spiritual connection with God so I could hear from God and make sure that I was taking care and feeding myself the way that I needed to. Also, I wanted to establish myself. I don't care what these people out here saying that you shouldn't do that. You should. Nothing nothing in life is guaranteed, honey. I got my bag before I got with my husband, so we have bags. And so I believe that it's important to be who you are and what you are in order for you to attract the right person, because when you go through them ups and downs, you don't want them to be shocked at what they see, so that you both have a good and evenly balanced relationship. If you're learning, developing, and growing into your own person and you need a little bit more motivation, make sure that you check out my Supernatural video program, which is free on my website. When you sign up for my email list, I'll place a link down below, or even my mentorship membership program. It's going to help you get it all together. Submission often happens both ways, and also with the right person. There's a lot of talk out there about submission, but a lot of people don't know what submission means. Submission often happens with men and women, not just women. And you submit to the right people, right? It's easy for me to be my soft and beautiful feminine self with my husband. Why? Not just because he out here and, y'all excuse my language, dick slanging. He's actually a great man that stands in his word and does what he says. He delivers. He is the product. He doesn't just show me what I want to see. Because I know that, it makes it easier for me to rest in who I am. And I love being the beautiful girly girl who is accomplished, but yet loves being taken care of. So therefore, I'm able to get that even exchange, and we both do. At things that I know even more about, I step up, and things he knows more about and can lead on, he leads on. And I'm happy to have that, because I trust him to not lead me off a bridge. In these relationships, it's not just about man versus woman. It's about getting with the right person for your life so that you can feel comfortable on both ends, submitting when necessary. The next thing is that decisions are made together. There's no more room for selfishness. You know, marriage is great to have two individuals, but realize you're becoming and moving as one. You can't just decide you want things to go a certain way, so that's what you do. It's time out for that. It was great while you were single, but you don't do that in marriage. You're starting to make financial decisions together. You're making spiritual decisions together. You're making decisions together about family, who you're gonna spend the holidays with. Just remember that it's not just about you anymore. So every day it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. I've lived in Nina's world for a long time, and I've been happy living in it, but now I have Sean in Nina's world. I'm a harness, okay? The next thing is that money is important. I don't care what nobody tells you. All of this wonderful talk about how I don't need money to, yes you do. You sing gas? Okay. I'm reminded of a post. So Paris Milan posted a post over on her wall, and I made a comment about it, and it was about not settling in relationships, not just monetarily, but even seeing that a person is putting forth that effort and making the money, doing what they need to do in order to place themselves in a better position. So Dr. Shawana said here, I got married when both of us were broke. I was also 23 and had been with him since I was 17. I'm 36 now. If I ever marry again, it would not be to someone who is financially incompatible. I don't care how great they are in other areas. It matters equally to me, always did, even while broke. She went on to say, you might think one area will make up for an incompatibility in another, and it might for a while, but eventually it'll stop being enough. Listen to yourself. You know what you value and what you need. Then be okay if that changes. Life has a way of changing you. Lastly, she says, I think maybe some folks are reading that we were incompatible financially, and we weren't. LOL, we were both broke but had high income potential. I'm saying I would not marry incompatibly now either, i.e. a huge discrepancy in income potential, etc., like the advice seems to be. One person responded to her saying, I know a couple who broke up because he spent a bonus that she got from a job she retired from. They had been having discussions on the best way to use the money, and he went on vacation and bought an expensive car. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Child. Here's what I said. Never ever lower your standards. Keep them. Something my mother told me, you never reduce your quality of life for someone else's benefit. Why would you live worse than you did by yourself with someone else permanently in your face? No bueno. If you can't live at the level you are now and better, then the risk is not worth any potential benefit. You can't stick around for potential, and at some point it will come to a head. So if y'all don't talk about finances, what are the expectations, what are the needs of a family to run, then you're going to find yourself in a world of trouble. And the next thing is that growing together spiritually is a must. You want somebody that's, in a word, equally yoked with you spiritually as well. I believe in God. I happen to be a Christian. So is my husband. Now, we had different walks in our Christianity, but we've learned to come together, go to church together, learn things together, pray together, seek the word together. And so that has helped us to grow together on our own spiritual journeys. You don't want to cause problems immediately with trying to grow there, and then the other partner is not into that, which is their own prerogative. But if that's not what you want, be very careful about that. Now, I'm learning and developing a lot of my husband's qualities as my own, and I never knew that this could happen, or dealt with previous people who were smart people, but I don't feel like I particularly took on a lot of their ways of thinking in their thought processes, because sometimes. But my husband is a mechanical engineer with an MBA, and what I've learned a lot about is business, about taking care of myself in my business, about making sure things are aligned. He's taught me a lot about so much, and what I find is I'm sounding more and more like him daily. I've become more confident in that, and he too is learning a lot from me. I never expected that at this ripe age that I was definitely going to be taking on some of the ways of someone else. But when you have a partner that's solid, that's exactly what happens. I've learned that I don't have to take advice from everyone. Just because somebody says that they've been married for 20 years, it doesn't mean it was a good marriage. You gotta watch who you let speak into your spirit and speak into your household. Me and my husband, we do not tell everything about what's going on in our house, and we don't talk about our arguments. We have trusted people that we talk to, but for the most part, we don't go publicizing the things that we go through, the ups and the downs. We've learned who to share that with and who not to share that with. You want to hold what you have sacred. If you want it to be treated that way, if you want it to have a level of mystery, then make sure that you're protecting it with all you got. Everybody don't need to be speaking into your life, because they can change your life and make that for the worse. I've learned that fighting is just fine. It happens. You might fight over who sliced the cucumber correctly, who had a good piece of toast. You might find any kind of fight. You've had arguments with your mama, with your cousin, with your brother. Why wouldn't you have arguments with your significant other? It's unrealistic to expect anything less. But one thing that I will say is knowing how to work through those arguments and how to fight fairly. I know Sean and I are learning and growing from that, and my husband is really great at keeping his level head, and I'm good at being able to listen. So we're learning how to pair those things in order for us to be the best at fighting possible. And best believe, if you come for him, you coming for me, so that we fight real well. The ops. We will fight together, okay? It's okay to want some alone time and plan some alone time. Look, y'all, I still get in my pedicures, my manicures, my workout sessions. I still do facials and all of that in order to keep myself together and on my own. And the reason why I do that is because me and my husband, we love to talk. We love to do things together. But at the same time, we still want to establish and have lives of our own outside of one another. It gives you things to talk about. It gives you things to debate about. It gives you things to learn outside of them, so that you can teach one another things. And so it's great to have a life outside of one another, and it's not a bad thing. You won't do everything together. It's not healthy to. You become codependent. So I've learned that alone time is a great time to energize and enrich, and I love for my husband to have that time as well. Now, I wish I had learned earlier that there will be rough patches and things won't always go as you want, so you must be flexible. You are taught that once you get in a relationship, that was the hard part over. Let me tell you, that's a lie. Marriage takes work, and relationships take work. So you have to expect that things coming together as two people, there's going to be bumpy parts of the road and the patches that are hidden behind the bushes. You have two families becoming one. So it's not just you two. Yes, you are the primary two, but they're extensions of you and your family. So there could be different things that occur, different things that come up that have nothing to do with your personal relationships with one another, that could cause some disdain, that could cause arguments, that could cause other things. But you have to know how to work with one another in order to see each other for who you are and move forward with those things. I wish they would have taught this a long time ago, but marriage takes a lot of sacrifice. But it is all worth it for the right person. There's going to be things that you don't necessarily want to do, but you will learn to grow to do. Let me tell y'all something. I never knew that I would grow. Don't tell him this. To love to cook things for my husband even when he doesn't expect it, or make sure that our home is super clean. That's something that I like doing anyway, but now I love doing it also for his comfort, just like he loves to do things for my comfort. And you'll learn through that process that even though you might be sacrificing something you wanted to do instead, you'll learn that that also helps you feel fulfilled, helping your significant other feel well. Everything won't always go your way, and so you have to learn how to dwell together and make that work, and sacrifice time, sacrifice love, money, all kinds of things in order for your relationship to be as solid as possible. Now, I wish somebody had told us this, but you will be doing a lot of apologizing and forgiving. And if you don't do it, you will be bitter. One thing I've learned even with my husband is he is so very patient with me. I could be bullheaded sometimes and stubborn, and I'm sure he can say he is sometimes too, but we have learned when it's not necessary to argue about something, when it's time to just bow out, when it's time to just say, okay, that's enough, or when we're going to move forward in a situation, I've realized that it's okay to just say, I'm sorry. Sometimes your partner, when you genuinely mean it, just needs to hear that you're sorry and you feel a certain way. So full disclosure, that in the previous relationships I've been in, that's how I knew my husband was the one. That has been hard for me. I can be stubborn, but I realized that, what does it take away from me to make sure that I'm seeing the error in my ways and being able to apologize and forgive? And by forgiving, I'm not saying that you just forget everything, but you forgive and you're able to tell the person with sincerity that you are sorry for harming them, hurting them, even if you didn't mean to. It just makes the relationship that much more strong. The other thing I realized about us is that we work in union, but we are not one person. You're not going to always have the same opinions, the same thoughts, the same theories, and that's okay too. You're still two different people coming together as one, and I think more people could learn or benefit from being taught about what that looks like. Oh, there will be consistent pressure about having children. Look, y'all, people have been in my uterus since before I became Dr. Nina, and you know what? I'm blessed that people believe that a person such as myself should be a parent, and I'm grateful, but I'm allowing God to make the moves on that. Now, I will tell you, I have heard more people ask me and my husband, together and separate, when are we having a kid? Is the kid ready? Is the kid gonna be there? Is the kid... Boy, I don't know that people are even ready for that, because even before we got married, the questions about the kids were coming. People are going to want to force you into it, but make sure that you're communicating with your significant other and make sure that you plan and know when the time is right. All right, y'all, I hope this video has been beneficial. I know that it can be difficult to think about the things that you want for marriage or significant other, but sometimes it's great to just start by working on yourself, learning more about you daily, and taking care of the things that you know are best for you to be your best. All right, make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it. Share it, okay? And subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, y'all. Beautiful brown baby doll. Peace. Check the links in the description for my free new Dr. Nina's Mentorship Facebook group, which is a group of like-minded individuals looking to progress, grow, and support one another along the way. Thanks so much for all the love and support over on my new website. If you haven't already, go ahead and check it out and join me for new ways to interact with me, giveaways and prizes, weekly emails, as well as my free 8-day supernatural video course, which is free when you sign up.